Hello, everybody. We are live. Today is a very special program. So I want to welcome everyone that will be watching us or that is watching us or that is going to watch us later. So thank you so much. This is a special event that we have from a class that we're doing. It's called Reinvent You Challenge. So we
Okay.
are live. All right. So I'm not going to take too much of our time. Mercy. I would like you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Why I just let other people know that we are live. I'm going to share the link. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. My name is Mercy Igokwe Tabuko. I'm streaming live from Delta State, Nigeria. And what we're going to be talking about today is mental health crisis in our community, facts or myths. And this program has been it has come to place today with the help of a special person, Joyce Ugbosu. See, for a month now, we've been on a reinvent challenge, which has really helped a lot of persons. So today, really full of packages. I believe you will get something today. So you all are welcome.
So good, so good. So my name is Lillian Amefiele. As usual, thank you everyone for coming. Like Mercy said, we are talking about mental health in our community, and this is actually a Joyce Ugbosu initiative where she does a Reinvent You program to help people reinvent themselves, especially if you feel that you have something inside of you and the motivation is not there. She helps you to get yourself motivated. And when I heard about it, when I saw it, I called her and I said, you know what, girl, I need to jump into this class because I need all the motivation in this world, to get myself going. Because sometimes, no matter how you think you've got it together, sometimes there might be a lot of problem. I'm so sorry, my partner is having some technical difficulties. She's going to jump right back in. So I'll just keep talking before she comes back in. So sometimes no matter how you feel that you are motivated, that you want to do a lot of things, you need that motivation. So when I found out that my motivation was running low, I said, you know what? I need to jump into this class. I need to meet up with a lot of people to just ginger my spirit and bring me back on. I know some people watching and say, Lillian, you that talks to a lot of people all the time, but sometimes it doesn't really matter because we all are going through a lot of things. And that's why this topic is very significant today. Mental health crisis in our community. Is it a fact? Is it a myth? So, Mercy, take it up. Let's go from there. I am still sharing the link. So go ahead. Tell us what we have today that we are discussing.
Okay. First of all, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Today we'll be discussing on mental health crisis in our community. Is it a fact or just a myth?
Yeah, go ahead. Or you want me to
Okay.
answer? I am still sharing to
Okay.
people. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So when you say mental health crisis, what does it really mean? You see, this so rampant in our society today that so many people go along, uh, they go from their day-to-day living with a lot of burdens in their hearts, and even some they don't even know who to share them with. But today, I believe you get a lot today to help yourself, also to help others around you, those of your loved ones, and even those you felt consigned to. See, you never can tell what you can do in a person's life and go a long way to affect lives. So just do yourself really good to pay attention, and I believe you get the best. So what's really mental health crisis? It means an incident in which someone with an actual or perceived mental illness is experiencing intense feelings of personal dis- or of personal distress. For example, anxiety, depression, anger, fear, panic, hopelessness. You see, obvious changes in functioning, e.g., neglect of personal hygiene and usual behavior. You see, by the time you find yourself in such a situation that the things you usually do, you no longer find yourself really doing them. See, it's something that really needs to be, that really needs an attention. So by the time you find yourself going through some kind of, you no longer find that joy, that happiness that you usually have. Maybe you are the type that is always outgoing, you easily flow with persons. By the time, even to yourself, you begin to notice, you like to isolate yourself. And even those around you will like, what's wrong? This person is not like this before. And you are down and so burdened. So this calls for a serious attention. And this is what we'll be discussing today. And I believe you get the best. Hope you are all live with us. Good.
Thank you so much, Mercy. You have really shed
So,
a lot of light into that
okay,
to explain to people
okay.
or give them highlight of what we're about to talk about today. And the truth is, it's a very serious matter. You know, I think last night I was telling you something that really, really broke my heart. And in our community, is something that when we talk about mental health, a lot of people shy away from it. And they're like, oh, now who they craze? No, it's not who they craze. Mental health is psychological, is emotional, just like Mercy said. It's something that people are dealing with. Sometimes you might not even know because we didn't grow up like that, especially in our community. We didn't grow up like that. So it's something that has been there, but the awareness is new, and we have to get a grip on it. Because last night I was sharing with you that there was a video somebody sent to me, which really broke my heart so much. But I thank God that at the end of it, it was okay. But then there's still a problem. A young man was trying to hang himself, I think around I don't know, that bridge, that under bridge looks like a Legba or somewhere in the Dumota. The way the under bridge is, that's how the thing is. This young man won't put in neck for there, put rope. So, and thank God that people saw him. They have to drive a bus there. Some guys went up and had the rope and tried to cut it and brought the guy down. Why? It's just what we are talking about today. A lot of people, like you said, they begin to isolate themselves. But let's give people breakdown bit by bit so that they will really understand this thing that we're talking about today. That is a very, very crucial matter, and people should take it seriously. So mental health, what are some of the causes? Or let's even, like, you defined it already. Some of the causes, there's so many. Like we said, a lot of people can be depressed, they wouldn't know. The things they used to do, they're not doing it anymore. So I'm going to get some extracts to read for us and really help us to understand what mental health is. I don't know if you want to go ahead and chip in some things, and I'll come back to talk about that. And we want to say thank you for the people who are watching us. You can make a comment, let us know where you're watching us from. We appreciate you guys so much, especially those people from the Reinvent program with Dr. Joyce Ugbosu. We appreciate you all. And if you find yourself, we're going to talk about that before we round up. If you find yourself not being motivated, you need something to motivate you, you need people to push you, we're going to share the link of how you can join this awesome group. So go ahead, Mercy. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, she's coming. Somebody just wrote here, which is really very, very good. Let me read it out. Walaka Mary Jane, thank you so much for joining us. She said mental health problem is a very crucial issue that should not be neglected in the society. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's a very, very, she's having a little technical issue. She's going to come back. It's a very serious problem. People have to take it seriously, because we look at ourselves and say, I not talk say I depressed so that they won't laugh at me. I won't say I have anxiety so that they won't laugh at me. Let me tell you, it is real. I work in the field and I have seen that in our community it is real. No matter how we want dodge and make shakara, a lot of our people have mental health issues. And this thing can be addressed, it can be treated. It is not a stigma that you say, oh, they will stigmatize me and they will not talk to me again if I tell them I'm, taking medication for this or for that or going through classes that will help me. No, you need help because that's the only thing that can better your life. So you need that help. What are the causes of mental health illness? Although the exact cause of most mental illness is unknown, sometimes some people say it's genetics. Sometimes some people say it's psychological, it's environmental, it's biological. Even when people give birth, our people don't realize that women have what is called a postpartum depression after giving birth. And now, when this is not addressed, what happens? It leads to one thing, to one thing, to one thing, to one thing. And when the person does it, not only you done the bump picking before, now only you they do this. It's a wrong thing. This thing is killing our people slowly. There's schizophrenia, schizoaffective, so many of these cruises that are in the mental health. A lot of our people are going through it. And it is something we must address. There are a lot of people in our community that is depressed, especially with the economic state of our country right now. A man that is full grown, has a wife, has kids, and is not able to feed them. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to go into depression. So go ahead, Mercy. I know you were having some technical issues before, so go ahead.
Okay. Now you see, there are so many things that can cause mental health crisis in a person. First of all, we'll be looking at it may be as a result of loss. Some persons due to a loss of loved ones, see someone so close to them, and this can really lead to what? To mental health crisis. And by the time the person has been taking too much of that incident that has happened, he or she might have, let me say, gone far away from even what's really happening in environment. Then another cause again could be also as a result of traumatic events. You see, this is a response following an event that psychologically overwhelms you often, resulting in shock, denial, and changes in you, often in your body, in your body, mind, and behavior. Like what Miss Linear just said, you see, like in women, changes in their body can result to these things. So you see, there are so many causes that there's so many things that can result to mental health crisis. And also another cause again could be mind if I say this, changes in relationship, like also in as a result of divorce or breakup. It could be in the young ones, also among the adults as well. And this is very, very common in our society. So let me say, for example, as most ladies, let me say, some who must have gone through divorce or a breakup in a relationship, if they don't really know who they are or what the future hold in stock for them, they'll just go ahead and be thinking, being overwhelmed, burdensome, and
Mhm.
even to some extent, they can even go as far as taking their lives. So you see, these are some of the things we really need to know, that we shouldn't just allow them overwhelm us, but rather there should be room for us to discuss with others and then get the needed support we really ought to have. Also, another cause of it again could be feeling alone, or like you don't have a support system to support you. Like economy today, the hardship that we find ourselves today. You say some persons go of that mess. I don't have a helper, no one here to support me. So because of that, they can, as in, they can start thinking might be in a state of discouragement, depression, and this can, they don't know, and to them, they don't really know the harm they are causing themselves. So this can also lead to a mental health crisis. Then another thing again is discrimination. By some persons, you see, by the time they are being discriminated, even let me
Okay,
say,
now you know what? You know what,
in
Mercy?
schools
Let me ask
today.
you. There's a
Okay,
question where you said discrimination because I
okay.
tell people this all the time, and they will laugh and say, "Oh, Lillian, why?" I'm like, I want to ask you a question there. So now, do you believe that there's discrimination even in Nigeria?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. So do you believe that there is discrimination in Nigeria itself, even as Nigerians?
And I believe you two can really answer this question very well. Being in, I know before now there are, yeah. So I believe there is really discrimination, and those who don't really know their rights, they can really be a victim of this. But
Exactly. So the reason
discrimination can
why I
also be a
so
cause of it.
exactly. The reason why I'm asking you is because sometimes the people abroad
Okay.
just feel that because you there abroad, you not they like me because of my color or because of my this, because discrimination is everywhere in the world. In fact,
Yes.
it is even Nigerians that discriminate more. And not just that, oh,
Wow.
Nigerians discrimination comes with intimidation. You
Wow.
understand? They comes with
Okay.
it comes with not just only intimidation, it comes with making people feel that they not even belong anywhere. Let me give an example. Somebody who has money in Nigeria, who is a boss, he sees the person who is a cleaner as a nobody. And he forgets that without God putting that person as a cleaner, as you know, as a housekeeper or office keeper, or you have a nanny, you are privileged to have money, and you have somebody helping you with your kids. Instead of thinking that, oh God, I thank you for giving this person the mind to come and serve me, a lot of people will discriminate against that person. They will make that person feel like they are nobody. And at the end of the day, that person will be battling depression secretly because he or she is not feeling, oh, I'm just doing this work. I'm a nobody. No, you are somebody. Because without even God said it, our hands are not equal. So without this small hand now, if you bend it, you see that this one gets as it be, abi. So we
Yes.
all need each other. So Nigerians, we they discriminate ourselves more than even Oyiskele, more than the Oyibo people, because a Yoruba man now, if you go to Igbo land, it's hard for you to go and work there. They won't give you job. The same thing with an Igbo man coming to Yoruba land, they won't give you job. It's only few states that are very flexible, irrespective of where you come from. They allow you to say, okay, come, come, come. So it is something that eats into our people. Thank you so much, all the people that are joining us. Oh my God, her lordship, Ngozi Njoku. Thank you so much, ma, for joining. I appreciate you so much. Love you, love you. And also Gechi Emmanuel, something like that. God bless you. Say good job. Thank you. And Mary Jane, thank you so much for your insights too on the mental health. So discrimination is one of the things that makes people feel less of themselves and brings them into this, into depression. I want to also tell you that people who discriminate, even spouses, maybe you marry the man, you are more educated than your wife, or you, the wife, you are more educated than your husband. Those little hidden discrimination can bring secret depression that will be eating your spouse up. You will not know. You understand? And these things are not healthy for us because it brings sicknesses and diseases into the body. So go ahead, Mercy. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Okay.
Thank you.
So continue with the courses. I also have here losing a job or failing a class could also lead to mental health crisis. You see, some persons, Let me just say some persons, I can't just be specific. Generally, when you lose a job, you know how painful it is. There could be some kind of expectations you have in mind, but suddenly maybe you are dropped out from your place of work. You see, this can really lead to what? To a mental health crisis, whereby you be discouraged. You say, where do I start from here? Maybe someone that is doing a secular job, for instance, do not even have a backup of any business that you were doing before you were dropped from your work. See, that pain, that burden will be there. You say, where do I start from? Thinking, seeking for one job or the other. No place to turn to, no one to run to. This can also cause this could also be a cause of a mental health
That's
crisis.
true.
Then
Yeah.
also, when someone failed a class, yeah, this has happened to me when I was in the junior secondary. I happened to receive mathematics. So when my friends resumed the first term, I was still at home because I was here to write my receipt examination. And this really weighed me down. I was like, oh God, people are in SS1, me, I'm still here. As in with the results I have, there's no way I could go for admission. In fact, I and my mom really we actually went to a school to if I can gain admission there, but they said there's no way until I see that result. So I have to sit down, get close to some other students, and we met a particular teacher who really took his time. I really
Sorry. Yeah.
so that was how I really did my best. And luckily for me, fortunately, I passed that exam, but it was the second time that I was able to join others in school. So during that period, I was really overwhelmed that my mom even called me say, is it because you've not started going to school? That's why you are done like this. She told me personally. So I really have to pick up myself up again, sit down to write that exam with all zeal and seriousness. And at the end, I had success. So this failing a class or in an examination could also lead to mental health crisis. Also, uh, natural disaster, violence, or terrorism. You see, recently we've seen that in some countries there have been crises here and there, even natural disaster like earthquakes, and this has led to the displacement of so many people. I don't even have anywhere to go to, no home to lodge in. So these people, I see, naturally they are really prone to what a mental health crisis, and these are some of the things that really cause mental health crisis. Then also have with me here substance use. Yes, substance use. So, some persons, like it's not just only the young persons who also have these old age people also doing this substance use. You see, the intake of all these things are substances like drugs, abusing drugs and the rest. See, it could also lead to a mental health crisis. Now, we've been saying that yes, depression, anxiety, they also have a higher success
Yeah, the network is kind of fluctuating with Mercy
stage
over
of
there. Okay, good. Okay.
who have
I
these
I want to add a little
yes.
thing to the substance use, Mercy. Let me add a little thing there. So sometimes when we talk about substance use, people will think that it's only people who take a banya and all those koboko kind of things. You know, substance abuse can be even just taking Xanax for your anxiety. So now you're taking the Xanax because doctor gave it to you for your anxiety or whatever the problem is. So some people abuse it, they become very addicted to it. Even some people are addicted to ordinary paracetamol, Tylenol, some kind, medication. So maybe you can't sleep and the doctor gave you some medication for sleeping, you know, and what happens? You now get addicted to it, that without it, you cannot survive. So now, as that thing begins to grow, that addiction begins to grow. That is abuse. And those kind of abuse, when the person doesn't get it, what happens? Different things begin to manifest. So it is not only people who take, you guys know what I'm talking about, that is having the abuse of substance. Anything you're doing that becomes an addiction becomes an abuse. And it could even be abuse of food. Thank you so much, Esther Kalu. Thank you. He says quite insightful. Thank you. So anything you're doing that becomes overusage is an abuse. Even eating too much is an abuse. Because when you look at it here, just to add to what you have, that I have here, poor nutrition or eating too much and exposure to toxins are part of the things that brings mental health. Because sometimes a lot of people eat is not because they are hungry. They are eating because they are not happy. So it's like a solace. They want to seek solace from there to say, you know what else can I just do? Let me just eat. And they keep eating and they keep eating. No, the way God created us is that you should eat when you are hungry. When you are not hungry, don't eat. I tell people that all the time. They say, but when you wake up, the way we grew up, you're supposed to eat breakfast. No, you're not supposed to eat breakfast. If you're not hungry when you wake up, you drink water so that your body can flush. You don't have to eat. You wait till you are hungry. But some people eat every minute because there is food. That is also an abuse and something that can lead to mental health. And to add to what you have, brain defect is also some issues that can bring, defects or injury in certain areas of the brain can also bring mental health issues to people, an infection. That is another huge thing. So sometimes in our community, because we are not educated, there are some things you said too that I'm going to touch. Because we are not educated in our community, a lot of ignorance is eating us so deep. So infection like UTI, when a woman has UTI, you think she's crazy because it can make her have confusion. So UTI is something that has to do with women's bladder and all those things in the woman's body. So when they have that, the confusion sets in. They'll say this one don't decrease. No, the person needs help. So infection, different types of infection can actually make some people confused. Or maybe somebody who didn't know that he or she is diabetic and the sugar keeps fluctuating, going up and down. It can cause confusion for them. And they'll not say this one, something is wrong. You don't decrease. Because our people, anything at all that is not normal becomes abnormal. They forget that these things are part of our existence and part of our lives. So some infections have been linked to all those things. Even gonococcus, it can make some people confused. And when they're confused, they not say they're crazy. They're not crazy. They need help. So just to add genetics, I'm going to add genetics. Some mental health, illnesses sometimes runs in families. And it's not a bad thing because, the way I have come to see life is that we all are created differently and uniquely. God is not, he doesn't make mistake. So the way he has created people, he has created them for a purpose. It might be good on your end, and maybe the other family is not too good. It's okay. So some families are genetically, they've been blessed. I don't know if to use the word blessed or maybe something into them that they have mental health issues. And what do you want them to do? So people who have those kind of families, it can link to them. But when you change your lifestyle, if you're well knowledgeable and have that, mind or sense, change your lifestyle and other things, you can begin to see changes, happen. So genetics, we have to take all these things into consideration because when we're talking about mental health issues, we have to look at what is the factor. And that's why these days people talk to you, take a minute to look at them. If the talk does not go well, take a minute to say, where are they coming from? Is something wrong with this person? emotionally, psychologically, or even sicknesses. I don't know if we've mentioned that. Some people that have problems, sicknesses, because not everybody who can handle sickness or disease the same way. The way you will handle it, Mercy, is not the way I will handle it. You know,
Yes.
so everybody handles it differently. Some people now they tell them they have headache, they're like, oh my God, me, just tell me that I haven't, even just having anxiety. If it makes me freak out. So some people can be constipated or they're having stomach problem or neck pain and they get anxiety and it's so much. Then somebody will say, what did they worry? Is it not just this smutty? No, everybody is different. So sometimes some of these problems, sicknesses, or maybe they give somebody a bad news, it can cause mental health. But I want to ask you a question, Mercy. How do we now
Okay.
look into our community with the present condition of Nigeria? Because I really want us to address that. I don't know if before addressing that, you talked about losing a job and failing a class. Maybe when we are talking about the remedies, I'll come back to emphasize on that. But now, my question to you is, looking at the economy of Nigeria, how much mental health issues do you think is going to plague our country?
Uh, like today, we have so many of them.
Yeah,
We
go
have so
ahead and
many
let us,
cases of. Okay.
tell us what is going on and how it's affecting people.
Okay. Like today in our country, especially Nigeria, where I am, you see, there are so many cases of mental health crisis. It's common among women, even men, and the young ones also. Teenagers today, you see, due to the intake of drug abuse, you see, this has led to so many violence in the society.
Mhm.
And thereby, even to themselves, they don't even know the harm they are causing to themselves or to others. By the time they take these things, you see, they'll just be they'll so violent. Even if they carry out evil acts, it will be nothing to them. They are just mean to so many things around them. So this has really affected us, and which really need an urgent attention. So this is
So
what I
the
have to say
urgent
now.
attention, is it going to come from the government or is it going to come from parents, But maybe that's a different discussion altogether. So what you are telling us now is that with our society in Nigeria today, the mental health issue is on the increase, it's on the rise.
Yes, yes, it's on the rise very much, and it's visible to us. Everyone can see it. Uh, you see, normally, it's not in our society today, it's not really usual for somebody to be acting in a way that everybody will start with, what's wrong with this person? Maybe their appearance, everything. Say, who is this one? Only their appearance alone, immediately just sight them. Say, where is this one coming from? Does he or she even have a parent at home? Does he have any guardian at all who is so concerned about him, telling him uh, the right things, the way he or she is to live his or her life so that he can become a better person in the society. You see, so many of them today, they promote uh, uh, negative effect on society. If me and you can really start by telling those around us, the ones we are saying, by the time we start going close to them, telling them, this is not how you're supposed to be living your life. And by try using wisdom as well, because by the time you just go to them, start pouring whatsoever thing in your mind with anger, you see, you just kind of escalate everything. So it also demands wisdom as well. So we can see it's really on the increase in our society, especially among our young ones who wants to make it, by all means, who wants to get rich by all means, and don't even care what they go into, their actions and the rest. So it's really on the increase. It's really rising every day. And me and you needs to do something. There's someone out there who needs our help.
So true. So true. You know, because people don't realize what is going on in the country now. Like I was sharing with you, I when I saw that video yesterday, it really, really broke my heart because seeing that young man, if nobody has seen him and rescued him and saved that life, that means that that life would have just been gone. It would have just been gone because um maybe he's going through financial distress. You might be asking himself, what is he living for? He doesn't have money to feed, he doesn't have money to clothe, he doesn't have money for anything. What is he living for? So, with that, he might just say, let me give up, you know, let me just give up and all that stuff. So, what do you think that we can do now? You know, as a society, what can people do when they find themselves in this situation? Please go ahead.
Okay. So what we can really do for now, if you believe in crisis, you might feel pretty freaked out depending on the circumstances. It's very important to remain calm. So when you find yourself in a mental health crisis today, the first thing you remain calm, and also it might be in somebody else, someone out there. Remain calm, or at least you pretend to be for them. Let me say, for instance,
Yeah, go ahead.
go closer to that person, then try and figure out what you can do to help this person. Or maybe it might be yourself. You see that the things you usually do, you find yourself happy doing, you no longer find the interest in doing them again. Even to stand up to go and bathe, to prepare food in the morning, to get breakfast. You see, you don't even have that excitement to do it. So what you really need to do is that you stay calm, you speak to yourself, look at the things you are, the negative effects or the harms you are causing to yourself. You need to ask yourself, if I continue this way, can I really get out of this? I really need to seek an urgent support to help myself. So some of the things you need to do is that you could call on somebody, seek for help, seek for counseling, or you could even try reading some books, or even listening to songs to keep your spirits alive. Because by the time you
Exactly.
find yourself in a depressive state, it could be very, very overwhelming. So you try to do things that will make your spirit to be alive again. Then if it's somebody else who you knows that is going through this mental health crisis, you could go close to them and also stay calm. Then you listen to them, listen to what they have to say. Let them know that you're really concerned about their situation. Then also you can also as in seek their own opinion, what what they think could also be of help to them. So you don't just go as in enforce them. No, you seek their own opinion, what they really need at that particular time. So
Exactly. Thank you
also, yeah.
uh, for your, you know, all the details and all the things you're giving to us, and you know, because it's so important in our community today. Like you said, in our Nigerian youth, I don't know if it's a parents, you know, go ahead. I'm trying to type something about our program, so I put it up here, so that people will know about this challenge we're doing. This program actually is about you know, it's called the Reinvent You challenge program. It's a Joyce Ugbosu initiative. If you're just joining us, Dr. Joyce Ugbosu runs a program where she motivates people and encourages people to be who they have created to be, you know, and to pick up their bits and pieces, even if you've fallen to get up. She energizes you to help you bring yourself back and also to rediscover yourself. Because I think one of the problems too that is making people go into all this mental health crisis is because we don't discover who we are. We don't know who we are, because when you know who you are, no matter the challenges, you will see it like it is temporary. And also because we are looking for too much is not making people discover who they are and manage who they are. And what am I trying to say? An average person, a 15-year-old, like you said, and the youths are confused. But let me tell you, if you go and look at what is confusing some of the youths, not all of them, you find out that those ones that are feeling confused, they want to make 10 million overnight. You said something when we started, how you didn't pass your math class and you started with studying with a zeal, with determination and everything. You went back to write it. But some of the youths will not do that. They're just, okay, you know what, since I can't write it, somebody should go and write it for me, or I'm done. They're looking for money overnight. So people are not following their age sequence. When you follow your age sequence and discover who you are, you can do a lot for yourself. So I don't know if it's the society that is failing us, or if it's our parents, the young parents these days that are failing their children. I really don't know. Because the way we have mental health in our community now is like 90% in Nigeria. 90%. And it's not a joke. You know, the kids are going into more, taking things they are not supposed to take, a lot of divorces. And I think we mentioned that divorce is one of the problems. A lot of divorces. So what is happening? People can't stay in marriages anymore. Is either the man has a bad motive or the woman has a bad motive. Because everybody has a motive, you know. And financially, it's terrible. You get a job, you are not being paid well. A full-grown man with full body and children. Let's even draw a scenario. A man that has 2 kids, you are making, let me be generous. Apart from those people working in oil company now, you are making 100,000 a month, or even 120,000 naira a month for a good, for a grown man. Let me not use those my words I use because of you, Mercy. Full grown man with begege all over his body. This man has wife, has kids, and is making 120,000 naira a month in Nigeria, and he has 2 or 3 kids. How will he not go into depression? That is not enough money. It's not enough money. That is about $120. It's not enough money. I mean, with the current exchange. So now, the man, if he works in Ikoyi and he lives in Ojota, if he has a car, he's going to buy fuel. So let's say a week he buys a fuel of 10,000 or 20,000. He's going to give the wife money to feed the house. How will the kids even eat a balanced diet? So it's a problem. And the earlier we realize it's a problem, it's going to be a problem. So we're talking about what do we do? Because we can also help ourselves in this situation to make things a little bit easier. Now, a lot of people have graduated. I'm so glad. Maybe I'll have a time to bring her on my show. I have a friend who is starting something like skills, you know, in Ekiti State right now. She has a school that does that skillful skill, you know, school like a technical school. You understand? A lot of our people now, you graduate from university, they say, what did you study? Say business admin. And you graduate, you are waiting for a job. How are you going to get a job? Everybody, business admin, marketing, business admin, marketing. What kind of job do you want to get? So when you graduate, you don't have a job for 6 months or 1 year, go learn a skill. A skill doesn't mean that you have to go and be doing something. With that education you have gotten, you can now apply it to say, if I'm doing hair, I'm going to do my own hair with style. If I'm going to sew clothes, my designing will come with style. If I'm going to farm, I'll do it with style. You package your gari if you're a farmer, put it in a bag, put your seal, make it unique. So everybody can be waiting for the government job. Because we look at this abroad. Most of the young men, some of them you see, they are plumbers. And these plumbers are married to nurses and doctors. Their wives are very proud of them. Some are married to bricklayers, and the wife will tell you, my husband is a plumber. My husband is a technician. So, but our boys, you graduate for 4 or 5 years, you are waiting for office job. You don't want to go learn anything. No mechanic. These days now, we don't even see mechanic too much on the street again. You don't want to go learn anything. As a girl, you have finished, you are putting extra bomb in your butt to make it big. If I'm a man, I will not follow somebody who has a big bomb anyway, because it does not trip me. Now shit fuller. So instead of going to learn how to do hair or how to do something, you are waiting for office job. How much are you going to make? So the people who are taking their hands to do skills, when you go and look at the statistics, they are not into depression. But so that when you lose a job, see it as God commissioning you for a new page in your life to get something better with your hands. Don't go into depression because it's not going to pay you off. It's not going to work. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Then you talked about failing a class. If you fail a class, what the heck? When I did my first WAEC, in fact, I failed completely. Because I was very much into sports and different activities in school. I was the senior prefect of my school. I didn't have time to study. The secret of passing is studying. When you study, you pass. So you go do the exam again. But a lot of people, I'm glad that you went back to do the exam. But a lot of people have failed their exams and they never went back. They just pretend and cover it and start looking for fake result to cover. So we can help ourselves from not going into depression and from not having anxiety. Talk to somebody. If you're feeling that, you don't have that vibe anymore, you are not motivated the way you used to be motivated. The other time, I think I came online like a couple of weeks ago, and I wrote something there. How do I get my motivation back? And I'm so glad a lot of people wrote different things, So I'm saying nobody will motivate you. You have to motivate yourself, A lot of people gave a lot of sweet suggestions. Whether it's sweet or not, I learned something from it. Because the truth of the matter is, in as much as you want people to motivate you, if you don't give yourself that push, you're not going to get anything. You have to give yourself the push. You have to. So that is the problem in our community today. And don't aim for what you cannot get for now. So that's another thing setting our people into depression. You are a woman, you are married, or maybe you are not even married. You are not in competition with anybody. The competition of wearing new clothes, new ashoibi, you don't have to wear ashoibi. Wear what you have to a ceremony. You don't have to wear new clothes. The clothes you've worn 1 year ago, let me tell you, everybody has forgotten you have it. So wear that one. So all these things is what is causing unnecessary depression in our community. Unnecessary anxiety in our community. You are a young man, you are just 25 years old, you don't have anything, you want to run and marry. How will you feed the girl? And if there's a baby, how will you feed the baby? The same thing with the girls. You don't have anything of your own, you want to run and marry because Selena got married. You too, you want to marry. I'm not saying marriage is bad, but you have to ask yourself, am I ready? Because that is the problem that we have. If I never marry now, if Bella enter, you born the pikin. But you have to plan your life before you start bringing a baby. Because if you can't take care of that child too, you are a sinner. Because that's why we see all our kids now are in the depression. Because most of the parents, if you can't take care of the child is looking for help outside. Looking for help outside to eat, to clothe, to do a lot of little basic things of life. We can help our situation by helping ourselves to curtail some things and to plan. I'm not saying if you're a young girl, you want to get married at 25, 22, 20, whatever. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you want to ask yourself a question. Are you ready? What do you have on your own? Do you have a job? If the man tomorrow, God forbid, his job fails him, can you support him? Because our mentality is that the man brings all the money. Very wrong mentality. God forbid, suppose something happened to the man in all their life. You're not going to train your children, or won't you take care of yourself? So you want to ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table? The day we stop seeing ourselves as we are in competition with anybody, a lot of our problems will reduce. Apart from, the general problem from the, government, that the money, things are not working. So I don't know if we still have more things to say. We've given a lot of advice and suggestions. If you have more suggestions, Mercy, go ahead.
Like there's something I'd like to add. Uh, when you find yourself in a mental health crisis or in a depressing state, you could also decide to change environment. That matters a lot. You decide to leave the location where you are presently, go to somewhere else, or maybe just go visiting somebody that's very close to you that you can actually relate with. At least see new things, new environments. That can also help to bring you back. Uh, that's something also. So you can still ensure you get the help you need while you remain safe. For instance, when you are, let me say, if the case has gone as in kind of wide in somebody who has, let me say, for instance, a mental ill health, you could seek for a way you could help that person, and while you are helping that person, also seek for your own safety as well. Maybe the way you talk to those persons and the encouragement you give to them. If you don't go very easy on them, you see, they might become violent and so aggressive. They become, as in, it can even lead to hatred. So due to that, you see, they won't even like to listen to you anymore. So instead of
So
creating
what you're
that
saying,
barrier,
so what you're
yeah,
saying is if somebody goes to somebody for
yeah,
counseling, that is why before you go to somebody for counseling, you should know who you're going to. You don't go to people that will
yes.
make your problem worse. Let me tell you why. Like during the pandemic, I intentionally stopped calling some people because the moment you call them, they tell you how many people have died. And that was giving me a lot of anxiety. I don't want to know how many people, I want to know what God is doing in the lives of other people that are surviving. What can we use to help us? What is the remedy? But there's some people you just call, they'll just tell you, have you heard? In fact, 100 people just died in this place. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to take this anymore. So what you're saying is very true. Go ahead, please.
Okay. And also, try as much as possible to really have time for yourself. If you need a break, you could also go for a break. Find some time to really regain yourself back. And also, whatsoever thing that will make you to lose your peace. If, for instance, you're not really going through any form of mental health crisis, whatsoever thing that you know will take away your peace, your joy, you should try and avoid those things. And as you do that, you see, like somebody, what I read, I think should be yesterday, he said you could choose to do the right. You could either choose to do the right or the wrong. So whatever thing you know will help you, will be beneficial to your health, to your joy, to your happiness, just do that. And you say, you, the woman, the man, the boy, the girl you really want to be. So you are special, you are great. Don't look down on yourself. Don't. There's something great ahead of you. And above all, we have God, the Creator, the one who, the Prince of Peace, who could actually give us the peace that we really need. So talk to yourself, him is your father. Pray to him, and he will really give you peace. He will lead us through in Jesus' name. So that's all I have to say.
So good, so true, and so good, Um, because people don't realize how important they are. And I say this all the time. It is you who have to tell yourself you're important because God took time to create you. So if you look at yourself like that, sometimes you will not be too much into, all these problems everywhere won't come too much to you because you discover who you are. But a lot of people look down on themselves and they will even, let me tell you, Mercy, some people have looked at themselves and say, oh, they are not good. They'll say there's nothing good in them. They just use their mouth because whatever you're saying with your mouth, this is not about being spiritual now. Because life is spiritual on its own, whether you go to church or you don't go to church. Life is spiritual. So whatever you're saying with your mouth is what comes back to you. So if you give yourself positive talks, the positivity comes into your body. But if people are negative, the negativity goes into their body. When you wake up in the morning, you go to the mirror and look at yourself and smile and say, I'm beautiful, I'm well created. Nobody can tell me less. So whatever you're telling yourself, it is what is going to come to you. And like Mercy said, if you're feeling down or lonely, call people, call the right person, somebody that will ginger you. Sometimes when I'm down, I just call some friends. We gist. By the time we start gisting, 5 minutes, I'm laughing, and you won't even remember you were in that condition again. Call somebody to gist with, you know, call somebody to talk to say, this is what I'm going through. What do I do? How do I go around it? But a lot of our people, I'm sorry to want to say this too, is that they are so sold out into some things that is so much spiritualized that they don't take care of their mental health. And now that suffers privately. Then that's why when you see them, even when they come out of church, by the time you say hello, they say, what? They're shining their eye. They are so angry because they've not taken time to, to nurture their natural self. They're two different things. They're two different things. So talk to people, call people. If you're feeling down, if you find out that you are not having interest in doing some of the things you used to do, call somebody to discuss what could be the problem. What could be the problem. What are you facing? There might just be something happening to you, that you need to talk about. It's very important. And if you feel that you don't have anybody to talk about, talk with, please inbox me. You're very, very free to inbox me. No, the reason is that I'm a clinician and this is what I do. I'm a counselor, is what I do for work. So please, you're very free to come. I'm not going to charge you. It's free of charge. Come talk to me. And whatever you're saying is safe, because sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. People just need somebody to vent to. Maybe something is making you upset. You call somebody and you just vent for 2 minutes. You take a deep breath and that thing might just go, because life is one time and this is what we have. Make it sweet, make it enjoyable, so thank you, everybody. I think if we're done, this program is a Reinvent Yourself Challenge series. Is a Joyce Ugbosu initiative. Like I said, she runs a program. If you're interested, you can go to her page, Joyce Ugbosu, on she's Ambassador of Joyce Ugbosu on Facebook. Go to her page or inbox me or Mercy, and we'll be able to link you up. You just need a forum, a platform where you can talk to people, different people from different parts of the world. I've not met Mercy before. This is our first time we're seeing each other now. But you'll be communicating with different people, and this helps you, to encourage you, to build yourself, to just participate in something that will help nurture your spirit and your mind. There are a lot of people from all over the world. So if you want to join the challenge, or, it's a good initiative that I encourage you to join and all that stuff. Some people say, "Amigo join." I want to. I do myself. You're not doing yourself. I do my do body. You need people. Don't be a loner. Some people, they just stay and they don't want to talk with nobody. God is not too hard. He's not hard at all. So don't be too hard on yourself. Talk to people, you know, because one life to live. Now, where you want for go play with people now? When you don't go. So we want to encourage everyone this morning that please, um, you're very, you're well created. You're so blessed and you're so beautiful. To me, everybody's beautiful. I don't see anybody that is ugly because God does not make mistakes. So He has created you for that purpose. Anyhow you look, accept it. Be beautiful in yourself. So mental health, is it a fact or a mint? It is a fact. It's not a mint. It's in existence. It's there. A lot of people are going through it. Lillian, have you ever been depressed or have anxiety? Oh, yes. During the pandemic, I had anxiety for like 1 week because we saw a snake outside my house and my blood pressure was high. I was running all over. I called the doctor. The doctor said, no, go back to your house. Don't go to the hospital. I was having so much anxiety. So anybody can have anxiety. Anything can cause anxiety for you. Even thinking of how to write your exam can cause anxiety for you. And depression. Maybe there's a guy you are liking, the guy is not liking you, can give you unnecessary anxiety and depression. Or a woman you are liking, she's not liking you, can give you unnecessary depression. But some people too get depression on their own or by hating people. Please cure yourself. All right. Thank
True.
you so much, everybody. Mercy, I want to say thank you so much. Nice meeting you again. And all the
Thank you,
Reinvent
ma'am.
community, those that have joined, that will watch later. Thank you so much, everybody. And a big thank you to Dr. Joyce Ugbosu. Thank you for this initiative. God bless you. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Wait for me, Mercy. Don't leave when I end the stream.
Okay.